yeah, the moment you report someone missing, then they like take it as really, really big news. So they send out a search party. So
Yeah.
they were freaking out, and my wife's mum called someone or the police to just see if he checked in or anything, and then straight away they've got a search party out for him. So like maybe 2 hours they were looking for him.
Oh,
All I had
wait,
to do was
since
open
I'm
up.
not streaming, I don't have to wear headphones.
No sir,
Hell yeah.
you get the night off.
Man, I love being a guest, bro.
Yeah,
I need to do this more often.
you got to leave your pants on. That's part of the show.
Oh, wait,
Pants.
we're supposed to wear pants?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
usually on the Friday, but it's all right. Whatever.
Hey, man, you can never see me from the waist down anyway, so I never wear pants when I'm on YouTube, bro.
I have to try to remember to because I stand up and go to the bathroom sometimes.
Oh,
Don't want
yeah.
anybody with an acorn. Anyways, what's up, guys?
Hi everyone, welcome to the Amigos Co. As you can see, we've been infiltrated by the Omies. We've been infiltrated. We have
Dun, dun, dun,
great pleasure in introducing Mr. Frames Janklin from Vaping with the Omies and Mr. Corey Poonstack Mc21700, otherwise known as Poonstink McToasty Pants, otherwise known as...
Dash McPower Bottom.
There you go. Yep. Mr. Corey.
I'm made of messy names. What can I say?
Poon Sauce McNasty. We've invited them on tonight. We're very, very gracious for them to give up their time because we know they've been on their own show this evening. But we brought them on because they were present at the rally, the Washington rally, and give us a little bit of an account of that situation. And I'm just going to dive straight into it because...
Let's do it.
let's just do it, and let's just do it. All I want you to answer is the first moment when you were at the rally. Whether it was arrival or was halfway through or whatever. Like, when was the moment you were like, okay, this is working?
It was probably, for me, it was probably the moment when I was there was a few moments for me, but one that stands out the most to me was probably the moment when I'm like standing behind like the stage where they're having like people doing their speeches and stuff like that, and I'm sitting there having a few conversations, and then the crowd at one point kind of they get pumped up from what's being talked about, and then of course the chant for the week for the rally was "We vape, we vote," and as soon as that started happening, all of a sudden you just see this sea of signs, and like it went from behind the stage, and you're looking, it just looked like it went on forever. And at that moment right there, I was like, I know this. I knew it. We were doing something, something that mattered, and we were making history right there.
Yeah. It's the goosebump moment, isn't it? Whether it's
dude, it was a crazy feeling the whole time I was there, man.
Yeah,
it was like a little bit of disbelief, you know what I mean? Because of like how amazing it was, and just the turnout of people that showed up. And people showed up from everywhere, man. We had, we had Dash Vapes come down from Canada. I flew out last minute, like midnight Friday night, from Southern California, flew all the way across the country, just to make it there. And it was just seeing all those people from all over getting together and literally standing side by side. The crowd looks small for certain people, because some people I'd seen, they made posts on like Twitter like, oh, a few hundred people showed up, but no, man, there was thousands. It's just that we were just all standing literally side by side together for one cause, and it's just like personal space wasn't a thing, you know what I mean? We were just there as one, you know what I mean? And I could gush about it forever, man. Just the feeling of being there with just like Legion was saying beforehand, being there together with people all fighting for the same cause. You know what I mean? It's just it's a feeling that I'll never shake, man.
Yeah. Well, amazing answer. I did jump into it, and I didn't thank everyone for joining us tonight. Everyone hanging out in chat, and also introduce Mr. Chris Vandal, the crazy new American, new Californian Republic citizen there with his flag.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah. And also Mr. Steve Legion, fellow Australian in the central New South Wales coast. Yeah, and we want to thank you all for hanging out in chat because I'm not even looking at the chat and being very rude. But should we do a Jimmy Buffett?
Why not?
Yep. Mr. Corey, would you like to start?
Who's that?
That's you, Poon Stink.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I got my Cyclone Evo DNA 200 with the gear. Inside of there, I got baby bottle of squeezed grapefruit. And then, let's see. I got my Lazy Vapor with my blue gear.
Two gears.
Some,
I like the vaping Canadian over there, bro.
Yeah.
some 12 monkeys, which is amazing. And then I got my Captain. What the hell? Captain, the 2700 fucker, with the Fatality 25. Inside of there, I got a vanilla bourbon custard in there. That's all I got running tonight. I'm trying to get this fucking Fatality set up. So fucking Rebirth. God, I can't talk now.
Come on, dude. Get it together, Corey.
Get all my shit, put it in a fucking bag, and just
just get it together, bro.
I'm trying to rebuild this thing, but it's a work in progress right now. I've dangle clacked the first try, so I'm on the second try right now. So that's what I got going on. What about? I want to see what Mr. Legion's vaping on.
Oh, today, as always, the Aegis X with the Cerebus because I'm really, really lazy. And I kind of actually really like the tank. I'm actually running the Hellbeast coils in it because they work really, really well. And I bought like 3 packs. What have we got in there? Yummy Vapor, Nougat, Milky Cat. Really nice. Can't quit the Aegis Boost with the Anarchist Pink Lemonade. This goes with me just about everywhere because it's just perfect hand size. It just fits really comfortably. And I can't wait till the rebuildable top comes in because, rebuildables. Much, much better. Speaking of rebuildables, today's review was this thing, so I'm still using this. It's the Angus RDA kit. It looks like a pod system. It works like a pod system. But if I can get that top off with these sweaty hands.
Well, what you're saying
Hoisting Mondays.
There you go. It's a
What the hell?
rebuildable RDA pod system.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It works. It's nice. I've got duck's nuts in there.
It's a dripping pod system.
Yeah, basically. It's a decent device. I just don't know where the market is. Like I said, transitional people is not the hugest market in the world. Moving from one to the other usually only lasts a little while. But, there's that. And then, of course, there's this thing.
What is that?
Is that a life alert?
Pretty much.
Help! I'm falling. I can't get up.
This is something that I rejected the first time they asked me because originally it had a big stick on there and it was called the lollipop. And I was like, no way.
No.
I'm not doing that at all. And they came back to me and they said, we've reworked our marketing. We've taken the stick off. We're not calling it the lollipop anymore. We heard what you said. We heard what some other reviewers said. I said, okay, I'll give it a go then. And it's on a little lanyard and falls between the couch cushions and on the bottom of the car, but it works.
looks like a laptop mouse. You know, you've got a smaller mouse for your laptops.
Instead of calling it the lollipop, they called it now the lint collector. It's like one of those things I feel like you can put in your
I
belly button.
panicked the other day. This came in. They gave me 2 of these, and I set one up, and I've kept one clean for review without fingerprints and stuff. And so I had it in my pocket. I went to the store. We had to go to the hardware store to get some supplies and stuff. And that's the last time I remembered using it. And the next day, I'm like, the fuck is it? And I'm running around the house going, I haven't even reviewed this yet. Where the hell is it? Next to the bed, in the car, under the seat. I was in the couch. I was sitting watching TV. I was just falling out into the couch with all the change.
I thought you
To
were
be
going to say
fair, it looks like a sex
easy to
toy.
lose.
it does.
It looks like one of those things that Wish tries to sell you when you're scrolling Facebook.
The pebble. Yeah, the pebble.
Yeah, it's one of those little, modern necklace things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually had it. I tried because I got the first one. It actually fit right through. Yeah. there
Oh,
you go.
nice.
Nice and handy.
Nice.
Hey, dude, perfect
What are
for
both ears,
driving and
man?
vaping.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
the one
You know
on
what? I'd be really worried going out like this because someone's just going to come and go,
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
no, not leaving that in there.
Well, after I guess looking at Legion's feminine razor, I'll go.
Yeah, I'm done.
As always, Anarchist Pink, Topside Goat, and yeah, that's it. Anyways,
Short and sweet, like it.
not a fancy guy.
Fancy.
One of these weeks, you're gonna surprise us. It's just gonna be something.
I did. I tried that Quinn kit, and it fucking. So when I was at the races and my normal mod died, I used it and I hated it, and I was like, "Fuck, man, this shit sucks." I'm not a fan of pods. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm a douchebag. You're gonna fill it up,
Clouds
You
by
gotta smell me
clouds.
around the corner.
Well, see, you're gonna get a proper pod system, like something small like this for a clouds grow. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do you. Something like this.
Yeah.
Dude, or at least
But the
Here you
Quinn
go.
was free.
Something a bit.
this
a
little
bit
guy right
goofy.
here too. I've been enjoying
Yeah.
this with like the 0.6 mesh coil.
Yeah.
It's a nice direct-to-lung vape out of this.
Yeah, you have to check that out. We got him at the shop last week, so
Yeah. You
Not
need
bad, man.
the black and white one. Sweet.
Well, should I do a little one since
Yeah,
I
yeah.
already showed off one?
Yeah.
I got the Grim kit. Now, like I said, I got the mesh coil in here, so doing that direct to lung, and I got some Fountain Blast Off. It's a tropical citrus slushy, but it tastes a lot like Baja Blast Mountain Dew, and it's my all-time favorite liquid. I've vaped over, I would say, 1960 ml bottles of this stuff, and there's no chance of me slowing down. Like I literally have 3 more bottles down here waiting for when this one's done. So that one's one of my all-time favorites. This guy right here, you guys might have seen this on my cloud check. If you guys follow me on Instagram, got the Blotto on top of the Gen. Really like this mod right here. This is probably one of my favorite regulated mods of this year, I would say. Of course, got some Breeze Tone 27 gauge aliens in this bad boy too. And let me say, this thing's a chuckin'. Got some Turkish Harvest on the inside. It's fall time, so that apple butterscotch is just absolutely killing it. And like I said, those Breeze Tone coils, man, they're just on point. You can pick them up at local vape, guys, if you didn't know that.
Oh. Oh.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all you got, Ben?
Yeah, no, I got one more. I got my Amigos Co Monarch, hashtag shed time,
so pretty.
with the Sonnet RDA on top from Sweet Mods, and I got a chop top from DHD, one of those Moss chop top tips. And shout outs to my man Mark Clough, the Gathering Vapor, responsible for the Warlock mods, like the hammers and stuff. He's also got a liquid line, Witch's Brew. This is Nightshade, and it's like a pitch black Mountain Dew. If you guys have ever had that, it's one of my favorite ones, and I can't get it out here on the West Coast. Like, no one sells it anywhere. So, like, this is how I get my pitch black. Is like, I just, pick up a bottle of Nightshade and just vape my face off.
I would
Yeah,
say
so yeah.
I would say that you have a liquid drink beverage addiction there, Frames.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm literally vaping 3 different Mountain Dew flavors right now. I've got another one set up right here, and this is it's called Cherry Ice from the Fountain, and it's like the white out, so like the white cherry Mountain Dew. Banging. The Fountain line is honestly one of my favorite lines. Big shout outs to OPMH. They make some solid liquids
Yeah.
for sure.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it for me, man.
I've got what I've affectionately named the T-Gets. This is now the T-Gets. Orion Plus. I always want to say Pro. V1 XLR.
Plus Pro Elite
Yeah.
Light.
Yep. Comp.
Yeah.
Comp spec. That's got the with the mesh coil that has in there a little butterscotch for Mr. Labworks.
Ooh.
Blotto Dovpo V. That has Event Horizon, Mr. Labworks as well, and this one that I cannot put down, SQ Topside Passage on the top, DHD Ghost Tip,
Yeah, dude.
with a little. I pulled out one for summer. It's not very hot in here in Adelaide today, but the cool lemonade. That's about my my threshold of cooling, coolata, menthol, mint, whatever you'd like to call it. Yeah. Awesome. I would also like to ask the question. Let's go back to the rally quickly. You know, was there things happening? Like, tell me when you guys arrived. Was it already happening when you arrived, or was there things beforehand? Did you rock up halfway through?
We showed up a little late because the rally was originally supposed to start at noon, but they ended up having to push it back an hour because they had to clear out the ellipse because Trump had to fly across in the helicopter because he's going to the Alabama LSU game. So everybody literally had to clear out from the ellipse. But like one of the coolest things that happened at that moment is that I'm not sure if you guys seen the picture that's floating around all over social media where you see people holding the signs and the helicopters flying right over. Like that picture right there is just a momentous moment. Like that's something right there that's going to go down in history and it's going to pop up all over the place.
Yeah.
We showed up right when they finished singing the national anthem, which that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. And
somebody is
like as we're walking up, like you kind of see the crowd and it looked like you couldn't really tell the size or like the capacity of like how many people were really there. And when we first got there, I'd say there wasn't nearly as many people that ended up being there at the end, but like it was just like every 10 minutes you turn around and like it went from here then to there. And then, you know, it was just like every like 10 minutes there's just like groves and groves of people until it was just an enormous crowd.
Yeah,
it was intense.
It was unbelievable. It really was.
Do you feel like that there were non-vapors there?
Well, the crazy part about it is passerbys were walking up. You know, people that were just, you know, there sightseeing and just checking out the Capitol that may have not even known anything about the rally were walking up and asking questions. You know, what's going on? What are you guys doing? And, you know, and I had a few conversations with people as they passed by, as I'm sure a lot of other people did. And, you know, kind of letting them know what was going on and stuff like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't say they were necessarily there for the rally themselves.
Yeah.
But I did notice that there were families that even showed up to the rally. You know, people were showing up with their wives, their children, you know, and holding signs. You know, some of the kids had signs talking about how their father had quit smoking, using vaping, and now he's going to be able to see them grow up and, you know, that sort of thing. And, you know, putting that perspective out there as well. So you got to see all aspects of life, you know, from, you know, business owners to, you know, shop owners to, you know, manufacturers to, you know, reviewers to just your average everyday vapor to just family members that have people or know people that vape. And you have people from all walks of life, man. It was intense for sure.
Yeah. And Chris, even like, you know, you being in the States as well and being on the other side, you know, was it something that you were, I mean, I know you'd be watching it because that's you're in it, but in the same vein, do you think it was like, you know, news was being, you know, shown out there about it?
From everything I've seen, I'm still waiting for most major news sources to do it, but here locally they did some little bit of coverage on it and stuff like that, which is cool. And so, you know, it's hitting everywhere, which is awesome that you see these news stations actually take a proactive approach to it instead of just regurgitating the same old BS. You know, and they're actually like showing that, and they showed how many voters were out there, and they're actually bringing it, people that vape that do vote out there, and they're bringing it to the perspective of like you're going to turn a lot of people into a single issue vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you bring it up, especially when it comes to politics nowadays, because everything's under a microscope, it brings in the interest from the people that maybe not have cared before, but now they're like, oh wait, this may sway like certain way things go. They have to look into it, and they have to find out more about it, and then they're educating themselves on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the greatest thing something that we were doing there to fight for a cause that brought life to in so many different avenues as well, to where people who either is a vapor who just they're like that vapor who just goes into their shop every week, gets their coil, gets their bottle of liquid, and they're gone. It got their attention as well because they were seeing all over the new media outlets and they were getting the question like, what's going on, what's actually happening, and them being informed and then them actually using the power they have, which is their voice and speaking their mind on any kind of social media platform they have, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, the amount of like tweets you'd see, like post-event, you know, of people saying, "Well, I couldn't be there, but I'm so happy, or I'm so glad, or I'm so thankful, or I'm, you know, grateful for the people that did." Because that was my wife and I were talking about that. Could you imagine if people didn't show up? It'd be heartbreaking, like absolutely heartbreaking.
And I'll say that was one thing that I was kind of wary of, one thing that kind of was in the back of my head going into it before I even got there, you know, like, of course I flew out late Friday night. So like I had got no sleep and, you know, so like I was constantly thinking about, you know, oh man, I hope people are going to show up. You know, I hope nothing goes wrong. You know, I hope everything goes according to plan, and you know, everything goes well. And as I got there, and just as it started happening, it's just like everything went as smooth as it possibly could have been. You know, there was no negativity happening whatsoever. It was just nothing but positive vibes. And one of the coolest thing about it too is once everything was said and done and everybody left, there wasn't one single piece of trash left on the floor. It was like we were never there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that speaks volumes too, because you know, if you've ever been to any baseball game or any sort of sporting events or concert or any sort of gathering, after that's done, there's usually trash everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that just shows that we were that conscious of what we were doing and being that much giving them that much respect that we made sure that we left that place looking as immaculate as it was when we got there.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it's crazy too, because like how James said before, it looked like after we were done, packed everything, it looked like nothing even happened there. It's that like we were there and gone.
And then I'll get a lot more respect too from other people, seeing that, you know, it's not just a bunch of assholes that drive Subies. You know, people actually give a fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, from everything I saw, the footage and the live streams, everyone seemed to be really respectful. There were no massive clouds. Everyone was, you know, they're there for a point and for a purpose. Not,
no clouds at all.
Yeah,
which is,
and that's the crazy
amazing.
thing too, is because there was a few media sources that were there, like Rolling Stone magazine was there, you know, Vice was there, the CNN, you know, NBC. There were big media outlets there, and some of the articles that have come out, like they've kind of spun it and kind of, you know, played towards the narrative. You know what I mean? Saying like, oh, like there's big dense clouds as you walk through, you know, and the DC had never smelt so good, you know, like, you know, kind of, you know, blowing it up, you know what I mean? When in all actuality, if you've ever been to any sort of vape gathering, it's usually just a massive cloud, you know what I mean? Because people are just vaping, you know what I mean? They're just doing their thing. It was completely different. You know what I mean? Yeah, you would see a cloud here and there, but people are very conscious about vaping. You know, most people are blowing it towards the ground. They weren't just, you know, sitting there chucking crazy clouds. A lot of people are carrying around like little, you know, stealthy, you know, pocket friendly, you know, mouth to lung sort of setups, just to, you know, because that was one thing that we talked about so much before going into this, that we needed to be respectful and be mindful of what we're doing and stuff like that. And people took that advice and held true to it and did it. And it was spectacular, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just much respect to everybody that was there.
Yeah.
It was an honor and just a pleasure to be able to be a part of it and be able to stand there side by side with my fellow vapors and, you know, like I said this morning, be able to fight for our right as one community.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing about it too, is like, you know, we in this industry, there are like little cliques here and there, and, you know, people have their own little groups and this and that. But when it came down to it, and when it came down to the rally and everybody was there, it didn't matter if you were this guy's subscriber or you were from this type of community or you were from this shop or this distributor or this manufacturer. It didn't matter. It was, we were vapors and we were one, and we were just the community that we needed to show. We needed to show America, show the media and show the world that this is what the community is.
Yeah.
It's not these stories that are being put out in the media that are totally bashing what we know is an amazing community and is ultimately something that we're not sitting here, you know, trying to push things on anybody. Like, we're not trying to, you know, get teens to vape or anything like that. We're ultimately, all we're trying to do is help the smoker, you know, find that healthier alternative and live a healthier lifestyle and have this accessible for those that haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
And
How it works for real people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Indeed.
people that smoked from, you know, 10 years, you know, 30 years to, you know, people that may only smoked for a year or two. It didn't matter. This was something that worked,
Yeah.
you know.
This might just be me in my messed up brain, but when I was at the rally last year, it was the first time I'd actually done that. I know people do this all the time. They're fighting for, you know, harm reduction of a different kind, or, you know, other topics that, you know, are part of our everyday life now. And people do this all the time. And when I went to that rally, it was like the first real thing that I'd been to, and I kind of had that vibe of energy of, people are so passionate about this. What happens when they get a little, they cross the line, and is someone going to get arrested, and are we all in trouble?
Yeah, and that was something that was kind of in the back of my head too. Is like I was just hoping that nothing like that were to happen, and everybody just composed themselves amazingly. You know what I mean? There wasn't one moment where I was afraid that something was going to happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it was just not like the aura surrounding the rally was just nothing but positivity, man, and just trying to make sure that we put out the facts and let people know what's actually going on and why this is so important to so many of us.
Yeah. And
props to Matt Cully as well too.
Oh man,
and everybody that actually stood up and spoke. Like he sat there and gave a great speech, talking about his personal story and putting out the real facts. And same thing with like Alex Clark from CASA, and Paul Blair was even there and spoke on our behalf, and a lot of other big people that have some sort of influence and some sort of pull, and having them there and be able to have them speak out about it in this public type of forum was just amazing.
Yep.
Did you guys see also that they quoted Graham Greene, Nick, and Rolling Stone?
They did. Because I talked to Nick quite a bit while we were there at the rally, and he sat there and he talked with them for a good hour. I'm sure not everything that they talked about was published in the article. I did give it a little bit of a skim through earlier. I didn't get a chance to completely read through it today, but there was a lot of good things that were said in there, and of course, like I said earlier, there was a lot of things that were kind of literally blown out of proportion and stuff like that, but there was a lot of good information there and did shine some good light on what happened. Honestly, if you guys haven't had a chance to read the Vice article that went up as well, that's another great article. I'll see if I can find it for you guys, but I was reading that as well, and it's got some great info and some great little interviews and snippets from people.
And Vice have been a company who has posted like some fairly questionable articles in the past as well.
Yeah, so let me see. Can I?
It's cool to see them put the script on it, but yeah, like you were just saying, Adam, I used to follow Vice for some stuff, but of course, they also would be like, oh, what kind of heterogeneous soup would you be? And then they started attacking vape in there for a good amount of time, so I had to not really pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. The link.
And I made you a mod, Frames, so if you ever want to
okay, cool. Well, there we go. I should be able to just drop it in there for you guys.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Boom, there you guys go. If you guys want to check that out.
My potato is that I can't chat through this. Yeah.
No, I can't chat through my OBS either for some reason.
Oh, really? There you go.
Actually, I have to open up a separate window.
Yeah.
Adam's coming through live from a Sega Dreamcast, actually, so.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
I kind of know what that is, but I don't know what that is.
Come on, it came out when you were like 45. Man.
Yeah, pretty much. So what about post rally now? Like I said this to you guys earlier today, or certainly Corey, I said it to. A couple of days, or so. What has it been? Like it's been 2 days, 3 days, and instantly, like the flow-on effect. Here in Australia, we have one of our figures is on the board of ATHRA, and we also have another gentleman in Australia who I call the Australian Stanton Glantz. He's prolific on Twitter for basically, bullying and submission of argument, and the moment that he gets a whiff that you're an advocate of something, he instant block. I've been blocked by him, and I've never even interacted with him on Twitter, but, the roll-on effect is that now that the CDC and the rally and, Trump is making, having to show his hand, he was, our ATHRA board member was asking for a public apology for all of the misinformation that our anti-guy has been spouting for this entire time. That tweet got like so much engagement because it's like, yeah, you do need to apologize, and I keep coming back to that thought of the businesses who are losing business, people who have lost their jobs, lost everything. How is that ever going to be repaid? Anyway, the whole point of what do you think is going to happen next? What's post rally?
Well, we've already seen after Trump's tweet today that our voices were heard. He heard us. he is now going to have a meeting with officials. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's with people with the VTA, the Vaping Association. I'm hoping it's with the right officials and not with big tobacco companies that have invested in the vapor industry, or like Ultra, like that, or fucking Juul. We're hoping that it's with the right organizations, and because Trump understands, because Trump is all about making his image look good. That's what he's about.
Yeah.
And knowing that the one thing I think that's going to be the real kicker for him, that if that gives us a chance more than anything, is the jobs. That's going to be because that he's all about creating jobs. So I made this amount of jobs. I made all these jobs in this state. I made all this jobs. That's whenever he's in a different state at his rallies, he's always talking about how he made thousands of jobs in that state.
Yeah.
That's going to one thing. If that's going to be the one thing that's going to be a killer to his image, if this goes through, you're going to be putting hundreds of thousands of people out of work.
Yeah, this rally shows that if Trump ends up going through with this ban, he can lose his reelection.
Yeah.
It shows just with the amount of people that showed, and that's just the people that showed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
You can multiply that probably by 10.
I was
You know
going
what
to
I
say.
mean?
Yeah.
For the amount of votes
Probably
that he could
6 months in
possibly
advance.
lose for if this were to go through, and all the jobs that would be lost and something like this. And this is something that me and you were talking about earlier, Adam, is like, it's very unfortunate that the things that are happening here in the States have trickled outside of our country, and you know, and have affected you guys there in Australia, or like India with their all-out ban. And, you know, many other countries that this has affected. Hopefully, we can do the same thing here with this rally, though, and make a positive impact.
Yeah.
And this can be something that can ultimately, hopefully, turn the opinion of the masses, and show them, you know, the positive side of it compared to just the negative publicity that the media wants to put forth, and actually have people start asking the questions. Where's the proof? Where's the studies? Where's the information? Where can I look this up and fact check and see if this is actually true? Are you guys telling us the facts? Because now it's showing with the CDC coming out, you know, saying that, you know, there are 86% of the people with these illnesses have admitted to using THC, that have been contaminated with vitamin E acetate. You know, 86% have admitted to it. So that leaves what, 14% that probably
who are lying?
Probably just saving face. You know what I'm saying?
Saving their job.
Saying, I'm not gonna, you know, make full out assumptions or anything like that. But you know, that's pretty much what's going on. And this is something that they've known about since September.
Yeah.
And haven't said a damn thing about it. So there's still people continuing to go out there and to buy these things and continuing to get sick because they don't have the true and right factual information about what exactly is going on. All they want to do is fearmonger and scare people away from something that has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on other than the method, which is vaping. And they're confusing the verb with what actually is going on.
Yeah. And it's going to be such a shit show, too, when it comes around and eventually bites them in the ass for these agents to say, trust me, trust me, trust me. And then we've been saying it from day one, looking like a bunch of tinfoil Alex Jones, you know, running around telling people it's THC carts. And then that's also going to affect, like, we'll go back on a politics thing real fast, the people that aren't big government, because this is overreach.
It's like, think about Watergate, you know, and all the people that were, you know, saying that this was going on as it was happening. And, you know, and then all of a sudden when it comes out, you know, that whole time they're conspiracy theorists. Oh, no, that's not happening. That's not happening. And then when it actually comes out, people are like, oh, well, damn, they were right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen right here with this.
Yeah. While everyone was talking there, I wanted to bring up this one. Let's play Fantasy Representative League. Who would you like at the table when Trump wants to talk about it? Everyone? That's an everyone question.
Man, I would love to see Greg Connolly.
Yeah, he's the number one person you want there.
I would like to see Alex Clark,
president
from CASA. You know, I would like to see you know, the head members of the VTA there at this meeting. You know, the people that actually have the information and are going to sit there and fight and show them the actual facts. You know what I mean? We don't need Juul definitely does not need to be in this room. They could fuck off for all I care right now. We need to have the people that we know and trust to be there at this table, spreading the information and speaking for us.
Yep.
And there are plenty of people out there that I honestly could suggest to be there at these meetings, man. And there's so many people out there that have been fighting for us wholeheartedly that I'd love to see at that table, to be completely honest with you.
It's almost
one
like
person that I really want at that table that I want to say he's kind of overshadowed a little bit by the bigger names, but James Jarvis. He is in the Ohio Vaping Association. He's fantastic with his speech on Saturday. Was just like when he talked up there, it's like he's been doing it his whole life. So he's good with talking to people. He keeps his facts straight. He knows what he's doing, and it's just.
Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing Paul Blair in that room.
Oh, Paul Blair would be. He would go at him.
It's like you need a mixture, isn't it? You need,
a little bit of everybody, man.
Advocacy, or representative groups. You need probably some consumers. You need industry
business
heads,
owners, shop owners, manufacturers, distributors. You need a little bit of everybody in there in that room to show how many people it's going to affect.
Yeah. I was just looking on the map because I didn't know where the great state of Ohio is, and that just goes to show like people traveling from far and wide to to be there. It's insane stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, Frames, you had a many-hour flight compared to Ohio, but
and if you guys have watched the Homies and heard the nightmare that I had to go through just to get out to DC, and I literally had to run around the airport for about 2 hours trying to get onto a flight because something happened with my original flight where like something happened with like a credit card, and so they wouldn't let me get on the plane and all this stuff. And I sat there and argued with American Airlines for about an hour, and ultimately they wouldn't do anything for me. So I ended up having to say, fuck it, go and book another flight with a completely different airline. And I actually had to try to attempt to get on 3 different flights because like by the time I got through TSA and stuff, I missed that one. So then they had to schedule me for a different flight. And then I had to go from one end of the airport to the other end of the airport. And mind you, I haven't been to sleep yet, right? I woke up that morning at 4:00 my time. So West Coast time. And then got on a plane at, midnight and on the West Coast, flew all the way to Chicago, landed in Chicago at like 6 a.m. their time. So that's, what? 6,
it's 24 hours.
That's 4:00 my time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then and then I got from a plane from there to DC and landed in DC at like 10. So that's, 7 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to sleep. I was up for almost 48 hours, just running on empty, man, running on fumes. But as soon as I got to that rally, dude, I was like re-energized, and it was just like I had an 8-hour night's sleep and a nice hot cup of espresso. You know what I mean? I just like, boom, I'm up, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And it's like I didn't even think about it. So like ultimately it was a shitstorm trying to get there, but it was worth every minute of it.
Yeah, I think I saw in the chat, we've had a couple of people who in the chat who were there as well. Liana, am I saying your name? Liana's Vaping. I saw your stuff on Facebook. She was there with all of the DIY crew as well. There's a whole bunch of people, like so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of DIYers there.
Yeah. Really, really good.
It was amazing.
Well,
to shout out someone that was there with you guys. She's running for Congress in Texas as a Republican, Shell Hamill, and she's very pro-vaping, owns retail stores. She's running for Congress there, part of the Republican Party, and she was there at the rally speaking for this because it affects her directly as being a retail business owner for vape shops, and she's running for seats in Texas, which is also awesome because now you're getting vapors in the political game.
Yes, and that's something we need.
Why haven't I heard anything about this? That's what I hate about Twitter. It's not chronological. So, like, I'm still learning things days out from...
That actually raises a good question because, look, we're all ex-smokers. We've all managed to make that transition and help ourselves, and we're trying our best to spread this across to others. But, there's a lot of people in the world, and there just logically has to be some politicians here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Tried it out and it's worked for them. Why?
I'm sure that there's some vaping right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I can tell you that I know that there's this thing about not crossing the floor and not breaking party policy, but sometimes when something has impacted your life hugely and you feel strongly, it's worth it. And
Yep.
you would think that we all understand that feeling. Oh my God, I'm not a smoker anymore. That's been
Yeah.
3 days. How the
Yeah.
fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
And even now, like 5 years later, I wake up amazed. Just holy crap, I'm not a smoker.
Yeah.
I'm not smoking. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
And
another
if I
thing to
was a
kind of add to
politician,
that,
I would be out there. Where
and
are these
kind
people?
of to add to that too, where are the physicians at too?
Yeah.
I know there's plenty of doctors out there that are in support of vaping, and it's kind of very similar to what you're saying. They don't want to kind of cross that line.
Crap, what's her name was
But
that?
if
She
we
was
have some speak out on it, like Thesis. I don't know if you guys have watched his Instagram story. His doctor asked him to bring in his RDA so he could look at it
Yeah.
because he's totally pro vaping.
Yeah.
Like he's like, my doctor knew what an RDA is. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are physicians out there are doctors out there that know the truth and know that this is something that is an ultimately healthier alternative. We need them to speak out as well. Get some health officials to start speaking out on our behalf.
I'm trying to remember her name. She's an addiction doctor. She's specialized in addiction. She was on, I think it was MSNBC did an interview with them. She was actually there.
Nice.
I don't know if I forgot what her name was. Crap.
Yeah.
It was like, but she was like the long dark hair, like the brunette kind of, and
Yep.
it's gonna bother me now.
I asked that about, why aren't more, people in the health industry standing up and
Like seeing Regulator Watch there was awesome.
yeah. Brent was there. Yeah.
Brent wasn't there. It was amazing to see all those people there.
Yeah. I still think that the interview he did with Mr. Clive Bates last week is a must-see. If people haven't watched that, you need to go back and watch Regulator Watch. Brent talking to Mr. Clive Bates from the UK. I wish I was half as eloquent as that man. The way he debates the situation, and you got to watch it. Got to watch it. Must watch. Yeah. Yeah.
I also want to shout out the chat real fast. Angela said that Leafly is much better reporting on the topic in mainstream media. And if you guys aren't part of like marijuana industry culture or anything like that, they're pretty much like a news page for them that also provides like info and other stuff. They've actually been one of the news sources that's been hitting it since day one about the vitamin E oil and the THC cartridges, and not just blaming vaping. And they've actually been fighting for the industry. It sucks. A lot of people don't see it that way because marijuana, whether you agree, disagree, legal, not legal, you probably won't pay attention to it. But yeah, Leafly is one of the better sites that's been showing a lot of love and truth.
Yeah. Would you say also that industry has got, a far bigger history, money potentially behind it as well, for Leafly, or, organizations like Leafly to come out? Because I'm sure that they've probably been hit as well because people are freaking out.
Well, Leafly's not a company that, as far as I know, with my experience with them, that provides a product. It's more or less of information.
They're like an information source.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like me telling you, like, oh, I sell this juice and it's good for you. You know what I mean? And it's actually...
It's like a Wikipedia almost, you know what I mean? Where you can go and like look up, different things on different products, or, look up things in your local area, or like Ben was saying, look up articles about things that are happening with regulations and stuff like that. Very similar to like kind of like a CASA or something like that, but for the cannabis type of industry.
Yep. I remember Grim saying something about that ages ago, and he was talking about the Reddit feeds and, like that they've been going, 10 years plus, whatever, organized, all that sort of stuff, that whole side of the industry, because people are so vocal about, weed as such, and, wishing that the vapor, I mean, it's changing now, right? The industry in vaping is much more concentrated efforts, but, I remember him saying that about the industry, and I was thinking, yeah, it's a huge money. I mean, how much is the weed industry compared to the vape industry in terms of turnover?
Yeah. I would say the weed industry overshadows us, and I can't go on specific numbers or anything, but I do have experience in the industry.
Yeah, no, I could agree with you 100% on that, Vandal.
Yeah. Especially here locally in Las Vegas, I think last year it was over like $100-something million in tax revenue, and that's just in one city.
Yeah, just look at Colorado after they legalized. After 1 year afterwards, they are a self-sufficient state.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't have to ask the government for any
wow.
that following year.
I didn't know that.
That speaks volumes right there.
You see what happens if you tax something reasonably and then provide it to people from people that have institutionalized regulations and stuff
regulate it properly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Weird how that works.
Yeah, it's like a crazy concept that's never been done before.
But yet Colorado is still going after vaping.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
yeah, you can. That's bullshit.
But yeah, that's a whole different political opinion, or not opinion, but conversation with that. I mean, they didn't legalize psychedelics to a degree, so like, you know, they'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
They're just doing it the opposite way, pretty much. They're going in the wrong direction. But they're slowly getting to what they need to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Fellas, we're coming into that time. It's been on a little while. Mr. Frames and Corey, you know, what's coming up for you fellas on the other channels?
Well, I'll let Corey go first.
Oh yeah, just the average Wednesday show, talking news and advocacy with my co-host, Mr. Sean Typhon, the Angry Hippie. Every Wednesday we do an advocacy show that we rant, we go crazy, we kind of get humble, we just kind of just take it from our perspectives on things, and I love doing it every Wednesday with him. He's my partner in crime with advocacy. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please come check us out.
Go ahead and link it, man. I just added you as a mod.
Yeah, we'd love. So,
Sean's got a very broad knowledge. I find that about Sean. He knows a lot about a lot.
He does. He does, man.
He keeps me in check. He keeps me fact checked, and if he just makes sure that I'm on top of things, and he's.
You do need to be kept in check, though. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah, easily. Definitely. So hold on, let me channel.
Anyone else? Frames, Mr. Legion? Stuff coming up?
Well, I guess I can plug myself a little bit here. Of course, if you guys didn't know, about hour and a half before this show, you can catch Vaping with the Omies over on the Vaping with the Omies YouTube channel. It's your show that we've been doing for almost 2 years now. It's getting close, about a year and a half now. Something that we started off is just a show that started off as us just as a bunch of consumers, just talking about, the industry that we love and the products that have ultimately got us off the stinkies, and extended our lives. And then, eventually we all kind of started branching out and started doing our own things. Like I started my channel, Frames, Janklin Vapor. I'll drop that in the chat for you guys if you guys want to go check it out.
Yeah.
I also do a show on Friday called The Green Room, also with Sean Typhon and my main man, Overdrip from Canada. It's a great show. We talk, we do touch a little bit on advocacy. We talk about, products, and we have guests on, talking about whatever they have coming up, and, just hanging out with chat and just having a positive, way to end the week, on Fridays. That's all what my show is all about on Fridays, just positive vibes, crisp high fives, man. That's what we're all about. So if you guys want to come hang out with us there, you can do that. I do reviews as well, drop them usually on Mondays and Wednesdays, do all kinds of stuff from, your sub-ohm tank to your pod system to your mech mod to whatever comes across the desk. So that's pretty much what I got going on, man.
And he does bitchin' ass games on the Friday show.
I do, man. That's one of the things I
love the games,
every
man.
week. We always end the show on a positive note. We like to do something fun. We have a couple different games that we like to do. Like we have what we call the Take It or Leave It. We do Litwit or Nitwit, which is a fun little thing that we do. We kind of like tell a story, and you got to figure out if we're just stupid or if we might be slightly intoxicated of some sort. So it's kind of like a guessing game. We do like a 20 questions one too, or we've been doing like vape celebs, quote unquote. So we'll like pick somebody, and then we'll do like the 20 questions thing, and you got to figure out who we are. And then we've always got new things that come up here and there, and it's a lot of fun, man. It seems like the chat enjoys it, and it's just one thing I look forward to every week, man, is hanging out with everybody on Friday.
Yeah.
I stay here and I get set up for when I do the Fridays here and there, and I watch your guys' shit, and I'm sitting here stuffing my face with Taco Bell, getting stoned like, oh man, I guessed it,
Yeah, dude. Hashtag shed time, bro. You got to get some shed time in during the green room.
Shed heads.
Yeah,
Shed
hashtag shed heads, bro.
That's it. Mr. Legion, what's happening in New South Wales, my friend?
It's on fire, man.
Oh, no, don't.
On fire.
It's on fire.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like I got 4 bushfires surrounding me. Nearest one is about 20 kilometers away. So we're kind of a bit nervous right now, seeing what's going to go happen.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just doing my same old usual stuff. I got a pile of things coming up for review when I get to them, and yeah, I figure it out day by day. Kind of taking it easy at this point in time.
Yep. Nice. Mr. Vandal, you've always got something going on, my friend.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, the push to advertise came back, so I'm actually busy again, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, nothing crazy for me. Maybe have a show Friday. I haven't figured it out yet, but we'll get to that. Otherwise, though, I'm gonna shamelessly plug Mr. fucking Breeze Tones. With Breeze Tones coils are fucking amazing. If you haven't had them yet, then fuck you. But get them at local rate with Amigos 20 and Amigos 20. That code will save you 20% off your whole damn order. And we don't get paid or nothing by our sponsors. We just get stuff to give back to you guys.
Yeah, big thank you to them. And can I use that as my slogan? What did you say? If you don't have them, fuck you. Is that?
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen a Will Ferrell movie?
Oh, that's so good.
I think you're muted, Freights. I can't hear you, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I can attest that. If you don't have Breeze Tone coils, what the hell are you doing with your life?
I want to see that as the
You're not
next
vaping
Breeze
right.
Tones shirt. You don't have Breeze Tones. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah.
No, it said you don't have Breeze Tones question mark on the back. It says fuck you.
Yeah. I got a couple of
There you
weeks
go.
before the show. I got to get one. Oh dear. Well, yeah.
Buy it.
My news is speaking of merchandise, I have a very limited edition little something Breeze Tones coming. There's one of one. I'm going to put it on eBay. Starting bids at $2,000 because it's one of one. I got a little something coming for the NZ show, which I'm stoked about. It makes my heart shine. It's only something little, but it's my I guess when you see a logo or whatever or something you're working towards and you see it in real life, you're like, wow.
Guess I might have to crack into this baby.
Yeah. Exactly, Steve. Like when you put that hat on for the first time, right? You were like, wow. Yeah. Fucking mint. Yeah. Just getting ready for the NZ show. Dealing with the stuff. There you go. What's it say on the back?
Mayonnaise.
Indeed. Awesome. Well, should we call it a night, gentlemen?
Yeah.
I think we've
I'm
about
with
reached
it,
that
man.
point.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank everyone again for coming in to chat. Thanks for Mr. Vandal for handling the chat because I'm got potato going on my computer and I can't see it at all. So big thank you again to Frames Janklin and the Poon Sauce McStack Pants. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us your stuff for the rally. I mean, that energy is going to continue going for way into next year. So, let's hope for good things and don't stop everyone. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for coming out tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.